It never works out just right for me. I hit her guts. Don't need to leave none for the next guy. Pick your toenails. I know that smell. Just forget about it. I ain't playing around.
It does look like making meatloaf.
Red lube-a-doob. Never mind the cam bone in half. Pretty sure I'm doing this wrong. Want to do it?
I love that tool.
And jam her in there.
Not everything can be big, honey.
Feel under pressure with all you guys watching me. That's what the doctor ordered. Looby-dooby-doo. A Mongolian monk. Put some looby-dooby on it. Looby-doo. All right, guys, we're back right where we left off. We were running late the other night, and we needed some more information from Clay Smith Cams on the installation procedure. We've got that, and it's way simpler than what you think. We'll explain that here in a little bit. We got all of our parts and lubes laid out, so we'll just jump right into it.
She's like, it's the wrong bag. Was that your Yum Yums? Huh?
All right, yeah, like we said, Clay Smith, once again, was very helpful over the phone with technical information. Their cams come with a black coating on them I'm not familiar with. They said leave that alone. That doesn't come off. That's, I guess that aids with the break-in. They supplied us a 1/4 ounce of this assembly lube, and the technician there on the phone said that all we really need to do is apply a little dab of this on each lobe and mix it together with our break-in oil and just lube the lobes by finger. I'm guessing that we just use regular assembly lube on the cam journals, and that's about it. No ridiculous procedure for break-in. Hold it at 2500 for 37.3 minutes and let off for 22 minutes, and yada yada yada. You don't have to have a Mongolian monk bless it in the Swiss Alps or anything like that. You just put it in like the good old days with some lube, and you fire it up, and you just keep some oil pressure to it, and it'll be just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some looby-dooby on it and jam her in there. Looby-dooby-doo.
Do a few lobes.
Looby-doo, looby-doo. Feel under pressure with all you guys watching me. Okay, guys, a little bit of Melling engine assembly oil. I don't see anything on there where it says it's synthetic, so I think we should be fine. Just going to lube the journals up and smear it in and just have at it. Distributor gear, same thing. Put some of this stuff on there, smear it in, should be good. People at Clay Smith calmed my insecurities with this thing. They assured me everything would be fine. They didn't factor my luck ratio in there with it, but for everyone else, it would be just fine.
Well, it's only 30%. You should be good, honey.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do this the way that I understood on the phone how to do it. Just put a dab. Easy now, big spender.
Okay, that's too much.
Put a dab on each lobe. No need to be quiet. All right, we were kind of rudely interrupted by the dog there, who thought that she should throw a fit over like an acorn hitting the roof. But we're back. I put all that, pretty much all that 1.5 ounce tube of cam lube on there. And then I was told just to mix your break-in oil in with it and smear it around the lobe, kind of like so. So that's how we're going to do her. Never mind the cam bone in half from hanging from the back journal. Make it quick to give her some relief here as quick as we can.
Oh no, it's on the floor.
It's on the floor. Chevelle is going to throw a fit. A fit.
It's okay, she ain't looking.
Yeah, don't tell her. All right. I want to put me some of this looby-doob on the journal here. It's hard to push. All right. Keep that coming. A little bit of that in there. One red finger, one gray finger. And I'll just jam her on in here to the next journal.
Oh.
Hey, I ain't playing around, you know. A little bit further. Totally ignore the cam bearings, crying for mercy. Easy. Easy. Give her a little more since my hand wiped it off. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Can't be mad at that. You know, that's the last time I'll touch that cam until I tear it back out because it's destroyed again. So if there's anything I could do to prevent it, now would be the time. So what I better do is just put the timing chain on it and just forget about it. All right, well, we got that mess all cleaned up. So guess we'll throw the timing set on it. We want to set this thing straight up at 0. We're not going to degree it in. We're not looking for 300 versus 299.5 horsepower. We're not getting everything, you know. It's going to have enough, is what I'm saying. But, so I guess I got everything lined up. You know, I got to tell you, I was laying in bed early this morning and I flipped me on some YouTube and there was a tuber on there just bashing my Mopar guys and my cars and my stuff, you know, just heartless, you know. Man, I felt bad to where I didn't even want to get out of bed, you know. I just started questioning my whole life in general. What? Am I a fool for loving a Mopar, you know? I like them all. Chevy, Ford, AMC, Mopar, I like them all. But, man, they're not well received in the YouTube community. So, yeah, one of the higher up guys, a couple of them, I'm not going to mention any names, you know, they're just guys that fix stuff with vice grips and in pole barns and stuff, you know. But, you know, they've been around a lot, so they know these things inside and out. Chevy, Ford, Dodge, they've been around them all. I haven't done much of this Chevy stuff, so I have some questions, you know. You know, why is this like this, and what were they thinking here? So, any of those questions I have, I'll be directing to those guys that hurt my feelings this morning.
Oh, it's on now. It's on.
One of them being, well, besides the oil bypass, why is that there? And why is the cam center line so low you can't run anything more than a 375 stroke? And why did the dirt tracks allow them to have a 6-inch rod when everybody else has to be bone stock? I was told it so they won't blow up and I have cautions. But what I'm looking at right now is, why isn't there something like a cam plate here? What keeps it from coming out and just rubbing the oil pan and just going back and forth and just tearing stuff up? Maybe one of those guys can answer me that one so I'll know. Maybe there's some modification or something that needs done, I don't know. But I would think that this cam would walk back and forth, and since your distributor's hooked to it, well, I think that would mess with your timing and stuff. Maybe there's a modification. You can put a cam plate on there or something, but I don't know. This would be good enough for us, so if anybody wants to comment on why there's nothing to keep that cam from walking back and forth, throw that right in the comments for me. So we just have this at 0 and 0. I believe that's how it goes. And I think it might be a little bit off there. What do you think? No, she's on there. All right.
When you hear her click, she's fixed.
Yeah. Or it's broke. If it clicks, it's fixed or broke, one or the other. We'll put some of this on here to deter our bad luck from bolts falling out. Put a bunch of it on there. We got more.
Oh, that looks nasty.
It smells like when you pick your toenails, get that stuff out from under them. Maybe smell your fingers. You know that smell.
You're goofy.
Please tell me you washed your hands.
That's what that's.
No, I don't know anybody that does that, but you know, whatever.
Yeah. Yep. I know that smell.
That means you got a lot of time on your hands.
Got a lot of toenails on my hands. Just kidding. All right, I think torque spec said, you looked it up, 15 to 25? Mm-hmm. We'll run it right around 20 or so.
Never has the one I need.
No, it's always...
One above or one below?
Yeah, it goes in twos. And I can't see it. That says 20 something.
What?
Yeah, it's in there. Feels good to get this thing back together. It's been apart a while, huh?
I think almost a month, 2 months now.
Yeah.
Guess I should have ordered parts last year before it blew up.
I hope it'll make somebody a good truck. It should run fine.
Hopefully it's not too fine because I won't want to get rid of it.
Yeah, we do have that problem. Got that all in. Guess I'll roll it over and throw the oil pump in it. And that way I'm not throwing lifters everywhere when I'm rolling it all around. So let me get that done. And looks like all our cam lube just dripped all out all over the ground.
Has slam more to it?
This is a new milling pump. We tore it apart to make sure there wasn't any sludge or metal slurry or anything in it. Got her all cleaned up and a little bit of assembly oil. Here's another question for the guys that don't like Mopars.
Here we go again.
I'm not bashing. I just need some more information here. But somebody tell me, does that happen a lot on other brands? I mean, does that just push in there without being threaded or anything? Does that thing ever fall out? That doesn't seem real bright to me, but I mean, if it works, it works. You know, if it works, is it dumb? No. But I was always preached that to take and really seal your threads up in your Mopar oil pump, the threads in, you know, the pickup, because you didn't want to suck in air. But there's no threads or anything in there. What keeps that from sucking air? Should I have put like some kind of sealer in there? I just beat it in there because the hammer was close. And I just pounded it right on in there. But I hope it's okay. But yeah, maybe one of those guys can answer me what the deal was with that and what the fix is, you know. Red lube-a-doob. Rain down on me. Get it on your fingers for when you eat your pizza. Makes it taste better.
Now that sounds like a country song.
Wasn't me.
Well, it was further away from the camera, so I know nobody's gonna think it was me.
I know guys don't typically carry the oil pumps apart. It's just like a throwaway item for most guys, including myself. But if you do have a new one, in this case, that just needs cleaned out or something, you want to pay attention to the wear on your plates. This is where the majority of your oil pressure is lost. If this gets real scored up, you lose pressure through this scoring. If we'd have left dirty metal oil in there, this thing would have really been chewed up. It seems it's had a little bit, but here we could. It's not getting replaced no matter how bad it is. So, which way did this thing go? Like this, I guess. Better put some of that blue stuff on here too, huh?
I don't know. That's a lot of blue stuff.
Need to leave none for the next guy.
I'm a little nervous with the name on there. I really am with that. I know I heard good things about oil, the oil pumps being melon, but I'm a little nervous.
Well, they're made in America, so they can do no wrong in my eyes. But we had trouble with their cam, probably something we misunderstood. But they are known for having really good oil pumps. You know, OEM replacement or high performance, they're right up there top of the line with their oil pumps. So.
I don't know. I think the rear end grease smells oil. Oh my gosh, that rear end oil stinks.
Yeah, it's like getting sprayed with a skunk when you get that stuff on you. I like getting it in my hair, and then you got to shave your head to get rid of it. Yep, torqued. Perfect torque.
We don't have a gasket in the bag over there?
No.
Kind of weird on the inside.
Oh, let me check now. Another question for those who would like to have answered my questions.
Let it go, man. Let it go.
Why is that piece of plastic in there holding your oil assembly to get your oil stuff? I know when they're new, they are pretty effective, but don't these things get old and brittle and break in half? And I guess it wouldn't leave you stranded, or would it? I don't know. Probably get stuck up in your oil pump, but maybe that's why you got the bypass in the oil filter thing mount. So when this gets sucked up in here, then it'll still get oil. I don't know. Yep, 50 foot-pounds. That's what the doctor ordered. Oh, mercy. Oh, yeah.
I was going to help, but
It's all right. My face is always a shade of red.
made me tired doing that.
Okay, we had our lifters soaking like the pros do. I think we're going to wipe the bottoms of them off and put a little bit of that cam lube that's supplied with our cam oil, just for a little extra protection. I don't want to wish I did if I didn't, you know? So. One.
That is like the only fun part to it. Slopping those down in there.
Want to do it?
Nah. You're already in there. I'd hate to make a mess. If anything is sticky enough, it should keep them from falling out, right?
Yeah.
A little pasty.
Probably don't have to put any bolts in anything. We got so much goo on everything that it should never come apart. Well, might as well move on to this timing cover here. Mostly because I can sit down to do it, but also when I go to drop the push rods and rocker arms on it, I can use the bolt to turn it over to do that kind of stuff. Let me sure do flicky up on here. Come on now. Gas will line up if you force it.
In my case, it moves out of the way.
Yeah. When I was growing up, my brother had an old, it was a Vega wagon, I think it was, and somebody made a panel out of it. It was really cool. I think that's what the motor was for, but he rebuilt the small block Chevy for it in my parents' basement. And I remember just being really young and seeing that bright orange engine down there with the chrome against it. It was pretty moving. But, yeah, I liked me some Chevy orange. We gonna paint this thing? No? Okay.
I don't want to.
No, me neither.
I wanted to the first time and got into it, and now I'm just, nope, I just wanted to run.
You just want out of your hair.
I'm just so nervous, I just wanted to And the bad part is, if she runs good, sounds really good and awesome, I'll be like, man, I wish I'd have sat there and painted that up.
Can't adopt all of them, honey. You know? I mean, you can help people and not invite them into your home, right? So, think of this as the same way. You're helping it out, you're giving it something to eat, you're getting it on its feet, and then you're kicking it out of your life forever. You did your good deed.
And if it's like a puppy and it finds its way back to me, then it's meant to be, right?
Oh, it's not coming back. No, we'll drop it over on the other side of the highway, so it don't want to come back.
Gotta make sure someone out of town buys it, huh?
Yeah, it'd be like frogs trying to get across the highway and get back home.
I'm like everybody else, honey. I've never noticed so many sounds until we started doing this. That one don't even make no sense. I don't know what that one is.
Does it sound like people are like the nitro circuses out there jumping railroad tracks and monster trucks right now? What's that sound? You know, the early Hemis, they make an adapter to put a small block Chevy water pump on them. Get rid of this big, ugly looking 50-pounder that they come original with. So,
That'd be nice.
pretty good idea by somebody. All right, well, we'll throw this balancer on. I always feel like I'm talking to people that know more than I do and trying to tell them what to do. So, I'm not trying to do that.
Don't take it personal.
Yeah, don't take it personal. For those who don't know, these balancers are old, and they're the balance ring's just set in rubber. So it's a good idea whenever you're building an engine to verify that your top dead center is on 0 on the mark. This thing, we're going to run bad gas in it anyway, and it's probably going to, like, valves are going to rattle no matter what we do. We'll get the timing pretty close, and then we'll take it up the mountain as hard as it'll go, and we'll keep adjusting the time until the valves don't rattle anymore.
We know our gas is 2 months old.
Yeah, it doesn't last but a couple days anymore. I believe we verified this when we put the engine together the first time. I couldn't swear to it, but either way, we'll be fine. I mean, the sun will still come up, and we'll still have, you know, bread in the store if we run out and everything. I'm just gonna slam it together. I put a little bit of oil on here, so I didn't destroy that. Put that baby on there. Drive it with a sledgehammer if you need to. No, don't do that. New crank. It don't matter. Just hit it. Okay, they make installers so you don't have to beat on your balancer, but we like order Domino's instead of buying that tool. We're going to use old Trusty here. We're going to be very gentle. I mean, don't nobody cry out there that we're busting up the thrust bearing. Hey, we've all done it. Nobody admits it, but we've all beat our balancers on with a hammer before. Baby's tight.
Is that like the rule of thumb, like in the kitchen, women don't tell when they drop the spoon on the floor?
Yeah. This is our dropping the spoon on the floor moment right now.
Rinse it off a little.
Works better when you hit it harder. That was a lot of turns. I better tighten that up before I forget, huh? All right. I better shut the camera off. I don't want nobody to see how I do this. All right. Well, we torqued it like we're supposed to. Don't ask me to. I forget the torque already. All right, I guess we'll throw these dirty push rods in there and throw some rockers on it, right? Okay. Other channel fellers and fellettes that we won't mention, the Mopar bashers, answer me this. These push-in studs in these heads, what are they good for? I mean, is there a certain lift where you should probably take and pay to have these machined to put screw-in studs in them? Is there a certain lift or is there a certain RPM? What dictates when to get rid of these push-in studs?
Maybe they break off?
The world wants to know, you know. Guys like me that stick around with the OEM stuff but try to burn some tire once in a while. Not winning any NASCAR or NHRA titles or anything, but just a common guy. At what point do you get rid of the press-in rocker studs?
I'm gonna go with when they break.
When they break, when they push out, and they, yeah.
Everything's usable till then.
Yeah, if it's mine, it's in there until it's broke because I'm not changing it for fun. Also, the rocker arms. See, I don't know because, again, I'm used to the Mopars that use the rocker shafts that are super sturdy and strong. At what point are these not open enough for a higher lift cam? I mean, what, the 480 cam okay with them? You got to change them to 500. They make ones with longer slots, I'm told, so that it can travel further. Comment and let us all know how much lift you can get out of a stock rocker. Also, since these aren't shaft mounted rockers, I guess you have to buy guide plates for your rocker, for your push rods to keep the rockers from doing this. Did any of the engines come stock with those, or is that something you got to pay extra for? I guess you probably do that whenever you do away with the press-in studs and put the screw-ins, then you can put guide plates in it. But I don't think any of them came stock with that. Also, while we're on the subject, at what point of performance or lift or RPM do you have to go spend more money and put stud girdles on so that these studs don't wobble around and bend and lose all your geometry and stuff? Is that like a lift thing or an RPM thing, or is it just something you buy when you got extra money, or I don't know.
I don't think it's that one.
It's not that one? It's not that one for me because
It's not that one for us, I know that.
I mean, this old boy is having trouble putting like Roman noodles on the table right now. You know, I can't be buying no stud girdles. So, at what point do you buy stud girdles? The 340s just always had the shaft mounts and the rockers that would take any lift, you know, that you trusted the stamp steel rocker for. But yeah, no money is spent there. They were pretty good. And if you put a solid in, you put the OEM iron rockers, adjustable rockers on, and they were fine too. But just trying to learn, guys. Not bashing anybody's stuff. I wouldn't talk about anybody's ride because it's like talking about somebody's mama. You just don't do that. I'm just asking the questions to the guys that know everything on the other channels. All right, let's just jam these on up on here.
Guess they don't have a left and right like mine did.
No, well, I hope not. No. You just jam them on there.
I like that better.
I'd like that. Yeah, it's simple.
But it
I
does
like
give me
simplicity.
an R and an L, so, you know,
Yeah.
if I can't figure that out,
Well,
probably shouldn't be
I
down.
mean, that's simple enough. The only thing is, like, I've had instances where you needed something that was a left or a right, and you only had a right, you know? So this is nice because if you ever have a bad rocker on where a push rod bores through it or something, you just grab another one, you know? If you only have one, then you have the right one. I do like that.
What's the little piece you're putting on right now? What do they call that?
These are the little things that look like balls that aren't balls. They're like balls cut in half. I'm going to call them pivot balls. There's probably a scientific name for them. But yeah, you put them round side down. I'm sure you all know that. It's round side, and that goes down. And your adjuster nut goes again it, and it takes up the slack, and your rocker arm can still pivot in there. Can you see in there? See how nice, that's smooth that goes? Never mind that piece of red lint in there. It doesn't hurt anything. But yeah, pretty slick. Been around for 100 years, you know? So, and they're still kicking.
Some things, even if I do know them, I know them by different names than you do. 5 different names for a control arm or a...
Yeah, they're different strokes for different folks, you know? People call stuff different names. These adjuster nuts, it's probably a good idea to buy them every time that you do a valve job or do anything meaningful underneath these valve covers. We were going to reuse them, which you would think you could, but it just seemed like they weren't really getting any bite. These are like a lock nut. And they didn't seem like they were holding much, so I didn't trust them. So money well spent for peace of mind. Yeah. All right, guys. I guess the way to set these things cold is you just run the adjuster down and spin the push rod in your fingers until you feel drag on it. And that being done with both lifters completely down in the bore. So yeah, we'll just turn this crank bolt until the lifters are completely down, and then we'll just do one at a time. All right, well, we got all that work done. We pretty much just ran the lifter down to its lowest point, and we ran the adjusters in until we could feel a drag on the push rod when we spun it. And then we gave it an additional half a turn. It's like every source you look at tells you something different. Quarter turn, half turn, full turn, whatever. We went with a half a turn, and if I think better of it before we go to fire this thing, I'll either take some more, put some more in or take some out. One of our subscribers gave us a hint about breaking these cams in. It's a good idea to go ahead and mark these push rods. That way you can tell right away if the push rod's spinning or not. When these cams break in, the lifters have to spin. If they don't, it'll wipe the cam out prematurely. So yeah, it'd be really easy to tell at a glance whether these push rods are spinning or not. So we got all that done. Here's another question I've got about the small block Chevy. I don't know if it's true or not, but they've been called cam eaters.
No, easy now, easy, come on now, easy.
Back in the day, I don't know if that's just haters hating or what, but one thing I noticed is down in here, the cam tunnel is completely enclosed with only a few oil drain back holes down to the camshaft, which misses most of the lobes. I know that the enclosed tunnel has horsepower advantages in vehicles equipped to oil stuff, you know, oil the cam right whenever the tunnel is closed. But see the Chryslers, these are all the windows are open over the lobes, and they get plenty of oil. In addition, they have squirters on the rods, which are floating rods also, not pressed pins like in this. They're floating rods in the 340 with oil squirters that squirt oil on the skirts of the pistons and on the cam as they come up around. So they get plenty of lubrication when there's oil in them and when the oil is clean. So I'm just wondering if some of that, if were done originally, would it help these things? Again, maybe I'm hearing wrong. Maybe they don't really they're not inherent with their cam failures. But if they are, that's one thing I can see that would have helped these things. Probably just take a handful of nuts and throw in here and then throw the intake down on top of it. And we can flip it over and put the oil pan on it and pretty much call it done at that point. What do you think, honey? Ready?
Yep. When?
All right. Using Felpro intake gaskets, they tell you this side up, follow the directions. Do what you're told, that's what I'm trying to say. This front and back thing, man, I've never had anything but problems with rubber gaskets, front and back of the intake. The chiner wall, they call. So I just go put a big old heavy duty bead of Mopar black stuff sealer goo on here. And I hope I got it thick enough. Surely that'll be thick enough, right? Run it on down the front side.
I'm pretty sure I'd be worried about it falling down in there.
Like Charlie Daniels said, I laid her on thicker and heavier as I went. All right, well, let me smear it all over the place when I put the intake on it sideways. Yep. Falling down. Yep.
Like you've done it a time or two.
Got the smooge coming out the front and the back, so it's probably pretty good.
Oh, it looks like double stuffed Oreos squishing out.
Now to find my greasy, dirty, never cleaned intake bolts to put in there. All right, put that big lump of iron on there and dug all the bolts out of the garbage and out from underneath the toolbox. So, without further ado, run them down here, kind of even, but what do I do? Okay. Strip it, burn it. Nothing fits. It's all right. How many of y'all out there actually torque your intake manifolds with a torque wrench? Anybody? We do. Yeah. Factory says what, 25 to 35 on these?
Yes.
We'll run them to 35.
I think you do it just because we like that sound.
Yeah, something about it. The torque sequence here is, I don't know. I'm only torquing it because I don't want to be made fun of. We get this thing together, we're going to have to go celebrate, huh?
Yeah.
A McDonald's dollar venue or?
Yeah, right. I found all those Longhorn gift cards. We better get a little creative, baby.
Oh, yeah.
All those Christmas gifts, I found 6 of them.
Yeah. It's like income tax day when you got them, you know? You know how you get your income tax check and then you go out to eat like once a year? 'Cause that's the only time you can afford it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that's like.
Oh, yeah. Bad part is I think you're only allowed to use one at a time.
What?
I don't think you're allowed to use 2.
Huh. We have to go in separately and like sit at the table across from each other.
Right?
You know how to get around all that. Crisscross, you know, like you're putting your tire on. You don't want to go in a straight line or nothing. 25, 26, 29, 30, 28, 29, 31. A little too tight on that one. That's right. Got all that work done. All right, well, we double checked the counterweights. Don't come close to colliding with the camshaft like I was warned to check, because I guess the cam center line's too low and you can't put much of a stroke in these things. So that's okay. Guess we'll go ahead and throw the oil pan on it. I just get nervous because this is the last chance we have to fix anything, and get all the sockets and screwdrivers out of the bottom before we throw the oil pan on it. I think we're good to go though. I think I can sleep good tonight.
You're all paranoid you'll be having me up. Did I torque that oil pressure?
Sit straight up in bed in the middle of the night wondering.
Did I torque it right?
I think we're good. A little bit of googe, spooge, looge, nooge. A little of that going on there. A little of that down in there. A couple different sizes of these and the thingy hickey kit thing. We're just going to put some in and hope they're right. Because I don't know. This is my first rodeo. I think it's weird at my age that I've been messing with this stuff all my life. And at my age, I'm saying that I just rebuilt my first small block Chevy. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Makes you feel like a winner, doesn't it?
I think that'd be like the first thing you'd ever run into.
That's like the mac and cheese deal with women. It's our
Yeah.
first thing we make. Don't
Yeah.
ever ask someone how to make it.
Why? Why have I never done this? I don't know. I don't know. Why is this thing stuck out here? I don't know.
Maybe because the Chevys were always built right.
Could have been. Another little squeeze of this here, right here. Maybe a little bigger squeeze of it. Just put it right on your finger because, you know, your skin's only your biggest organ and it just like sucks it right into your body. Ready, I'm throwing this one so nobody can see how dirty it is inside.
Yeah. That's my kind of tool. Proper tool for the proper job.
We replace proper with broken around here. Broken tool.
Yeah, like everything breaks in your hand, you'll probably have to rebuild it and fix it. Do everything else.
Can't afford another one.
Okay.
All right, that's got that. Oh, honey.
What?
I forgot to put the Wendy's tray in. Oh, never mind. Small block Chevys didn't come standard with Wendy's trays like the 340 Chrysler. That's all right. They're only worth about 10 free horsepower. But
Was that a fart? I don't know.
I'm not looking to rant, guys. It just, you know, it's been a couple days now, and I just can't get over the fact that these higher, bigger channel YouTubers are just busting on my stuff. People I looked up to, you know. I think I might even bought a t-shirt or two. Feels like somebody walked in my yard and kicked my dog, you know. I just don't see how you profit from taking up a build of a brand of vehicle that you don't care for to get subscribers to watch because you're working on their kind of car, but then you just bash them the whole time. That doesn't make any sense to me. How about you, honey?
Nope.
I'm not getting you involved. I'm sorry. Nah, I'm just having.
I'm behind you.
We're just having fun, guys. Yeah, I would have never brought up that they don't have a Wendy's tray or that their lifters are very small diameter, so it limits your cam choices. Looking at these starter threads kind of reminds me of the disgusting sound that they make when they're not shimmed right, and you can hear them like across half a state whenever they're trying to start. You know? Talk about the Mopar starters. My goodness. These starters aren't shimmed right. They raise the dead. I don't think you ought to have to shim a starter, okay? But No, it doesn't bother me none. Like I said before, these things deserve a lot of respect, and they get them from me. You know, they made the performance industry what it is. Pretty much right here, you're looking at the performance industry that we see today. It's all built around this engine. So, mucho respecto. Well, I just wanted to talk because I got something to lean on, and I didn't feel like working. So, better get something done. Put that on there, and that in there, and make some cross threads in there. Keep on going. A little bolt that holds that thing on there. That's funny. I laugh when I see that.
Not everything can be big, honey.
Crank her down, sitting in the chair.
These things get a lot of love for not loving us back, I tell you that.
They hit her guts. They really did.
I didn't go that far, but okay.
Torque this to 50 foot-pounds because I don't know what the torque really is, and that sounds like a good number. I'm gonna break that giant bolt off down here.
Start all over again. Needs a couple more, there's only what, 4 holding that on?
4, yep.
Shouldn't it be like at least 6, maybe 8?
Well, might come to some surprise, but early engines sometimes only had 2 bolts holding them on.
What?
Yep. So, hey, if it don't leak, you know. Doing wrong. There we go. What they say?
No, what do they say?
A lot of things. 4 bolts won't seal at 5 never would, right?
Now see, because you put that chrome on it, she's gonna pick up more speed.
Mm-hmm.
You found something that don't belong in it, didn't you?
I found 3 of these things. What a perfect number. I guess we'll put them on bottom since that's where the oil pours out all over the manifolds, right? Pretty sure these valve covers will be off 12 times trying to adjust those valves. Everything should have rocker shafts, you know, you just tighten them to spec and you don't have to adjust anything. Tighten them down and forget they even exist. Nope, I'll take the valve covers off and let oil swing everywhere on a truck that we're trying to paint. So, makes more work, just so I can adjust the hydraulic lifters that should be adjusting themselves. Well, everybody, that's about all I'm able to show you. We got it together. We still have all of our tools. We didn't lose any inside the engine yet. So, so far so good. We'll call it a success. We don't have an oil filter for it. And an oil filter is not in the budget. It's not Friday yet, you know? So, we'll get it, we'll get her fired up as soon as we can for you guys and get her uploaded for y'all. But, we thank you for your patience, and I can't imagine any of you like watched this long. You know, you probably shut us off long ago. So I'm just speaking to nobody on earth. But yeah, if you made it this long, we really appreciate it. Anything you can do, like to like and subscribe and all that. We're trying to get this subscription number up to 1,000. it's not moving very fast. So if you would hit that little button, it'd mean a lot to us. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next time.